course, it would make a bit more sense. Oh, the icon decided to work today for Throne. We are not playing Christmas music for March. Stop that. But of course, as usual, big welcome to this month's Color of the Month challenge. I am in a surprisingly good mood considering what's going on right now. I have an incredibly sore mutant microtooth. Right now, I don't feel it at all because I've been eating on my left side. I have an appointment to the dentist on Wednesday because, contrary to popular belief, I'm not afraid of the dentist. It's not cute, it's not quirky. And when I eat on the right side of my mouth, I am in tremendous pain, requiring way too much medication. But I only have to wait a couple more days now, so we're good, we're good. Other than that, I just recently finished a cover, and I would politely ask people to not ask or request for any new work this month. I am desperately trying to finish a comic. Please and thank you. Would be much appreciated. I'm gonna have a little sip of my drink. Oh, hi! Hi, Joel! Let me drive my van into your molar. Does it even count as a molar? It's in the place of a molar, but it's the shape of an incisive. That's why I call it my little mutant microtooth. My dentist called it a microtooth. Considering the shape it is, it's mutant. It's definitely mutant. Magneto would try to sign it up. Now let's go take a look-see at this month's colors. I grabbed the Hexed. I didn't try to dig up the actual Olo marker colors this time because they didn't write it down. They only write down the code, not the name. So the Hex colors are A5DACF, Tree4BE9E, OC5141. In Ohuhu, that means a BG4 Mint Blue, G360 Pond Green, and for some reason my focus is working really well today, knock on wood. If they do remove your tooth, can I call dibs for it? Mom wants to see it first. And BG1 Turquoise Green, so a lot of mint basically today. In Chameleon, whether I use them all or not, I'm still gonna give you guys the colors. BL3 Sky Blue, BG Tree Turquoise, so turquoise is showing up twice, and GR4 Evergreen. At the rate they're going, I'm pretty sure Chameleon discontinued the liners because I have not seen hide nor hair of them for almost a whole year now. So I don't know what's going on with that. Speaking of I don't know what's going on with it, I'm also having issues with one of my 8-bit DOE controllers. I sent an email to customer support and they replied with, "Howdy! Oh boy, we're gonna have fun, aren't we?" Right now I'm at the part where they're trying to get me to downgrade the firmware, but the firmware updater does not recognize the files. It doesn't even see them. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I asked them for a slightly newer firmware version according to Reddit. So that's where we're at right now. Problem with my controller is that all of a sudden, out of freaking nowhere, it decided to drop the battery life from 20 hours to 2 hours. Knowing how much I game, that is not enough, to put it politely. So I'm not super happy with that. So in the meantime, let's start with the prompts. Okay, she can see it, but I call dibs on keeping it. I'll put it in a small ring box. Offers cheese and crackers. How's your tooth? My tooth itself, it's perfectly fine. Like, I can feel there's a little bump in the gum, but pain-wise, I feel absolutely nothing, and that's a good thing. Problem is when I eat on top of it, that's when I need the ice pack and the Advil and the Oragel all at the same time. But I'm still going to get it checked on Wednesday. Because this is not normal. I've had tooth sensitivity in my wisdoms like all my life, but it's like during hormone shifts and it hurts like a day and a half at most. But now it hurts like all the time, quote unquote, when I eat. And I'm not going to eat on the left side of my face for the rest of my life. Her tooth is rough, but I'll let you see it once I obtain it. You're gonna do witchcraft with my tooth, aren't you? I think it's in my jewelry box. But, I have my wisdom tooth still. I was high off the laughing gas and wanted it back. Sharing tooth is like collecting big game animals and displaying in my trophy room. Considering it's my smallest tooth on top of that. And of course I ran a poll on Twitter to see if people wanted to see the tooth. And it ended perfectly equal at 50-50. So I hate you all. Like, I'm trying to get you guys' opinion here, and either I get absolutely no feedback or I get this kind of feedback. I can't see it yet. Yeah, well, that's normal considering I'm at the blue part. I'll comment when I can see it. If you meant the Twitter poll is done now, so... It's normal if you can't see it. How about Lily? Does she have any discarded puppy teeth? She does not. We did not have her as a puppy. So if she had any baby teeth left, she probably swallowed them in her sleep or something. Of course, keep in mind that all the request cards will be dropped in the Ko-fi shop right after the stream. But yeah, I just found this out like right now, right before the stream. If you go into settings for the Nintendo Online services for the Game Boy Advance, and the Nintendo 64, the option is not present on the SNES channel. And I have not, at this point in the day, I have not tested the NES and Sega Genesis channels. You can select that you either have the North American version of game or the North American and European versions of the games. Not all the games, but the ones that count to me. And you can choose your language. So most of them have French, and the interesting part for me is some of them have Spanish. Where did she get Lily again? I am not allowed to talk about that. Because honestly, it felt very illegal. Let's just say that if it weren't for us, there would be no Lily today. And leave it at that. Lily is a lucky dog, indeed. Hi, Paul. She repaid you in kisses. Oh, did she repay me ever? With interest. Happy to see you today, Paul? Of course, I'm happy to see everybody. Even if I complain. Mood-wise, I'm doing pretty okay, I would say. Especially because of today's discovery of there's some games that I love I can play in Spanish and practice my Spanish. That is good. Of course, when I discovered that, the first thing that I did was not to check which games I could play in Spanish. It was to check if Madonna was still as La Pouet in the French version of Link's Awakening. And if you go to my Twitter, you will have photo evidence that sadly she does not. She is no longer a La Pouet, it's somebody named Madison. I have no idea who that is. And I was very not pleased to find that out. But I will live. Margin DBZ style? It is! Correct! Of course, she's offering a duff here because I'm using, I think, well, her name is either Panchi or Bikini, depending on who you ask. Bulma's mother, I'm using Bulma's mother as a reference, and she's basically famously known for offering Baby Goku a beer. So here she's offering Homer a duff. We had a stalker on my floor last night, sent his photo to cops and management. Well, that's his fault for engaging in suspicious behavior. Gonna use the same color for the entire line art to really push the cartooniness of the whole thing. You want to do little strokes when doing the hair to really get that manga look of Dragon Ball curly hair, which of course is simplified when translated to anime because there's only so much they can do. Considering a second of animation is 24 drawings, yeah, they're gonna simplify. Looks a bit like Bulma's bad perm. Gotta give her that shot, though. She worked with it. I'm gonna grab some tack and let her dry and see who's next. We managed to get like 4 requests in extremis last night. Passed really close to get only 3. But we did it. There's only 1? Yeah, okay. Was having a little trouble with the thickness of my card. Why is there suddenly all this crap on it? Smaller chin. This character has a very small chin. Of course, when doing the circle for the head, always remember to add a lot more space on the back because there has to be a place for the brain. This is the skull of my enemy. Guess who I'm quoting? Sadly, I do not have a skull of my enemy. I do have an écorché of my far relative. I have 3, in fact. One of them is like one too many. There's a story behind that. Gotta be careful. I keep my normal eraser next to my tone eraser. And you don't want to use that for pencil. Okay, as soon as I'm done here and everything's in the shop and prepared, I am going to jump on my Switch and go ahead and play a game or two in Spanish. Discovering that made me oh so happy. En español, indeed. I'm gonna get rid of this little shoulder line here. Because you gotta keep track of the depth, or should I say the depth, multiple depths of your characters. And I'm not talking a lot right now. That's why the music that you guys can probably only barely hear. I'm just focused. If anything, honestly, all the power to those people that can act and gesticulate and talk all the time while they're streaming. Oops, I put it over here. No, that's the tack. I do not want the tack. I want the eraser. Ah la la. The problem is my tack and my needed eraser. The needed eraser is here. As you guys can see, they're the same color. So you would think the fact that one of them is labeled, but no. Just threw a roast into the crock pot. Yum yum yum. Ooh, a roast. Oops, get back in the shot. I'm gonna lower this eyebrow a little bit while I'm here. This one I'm gonna try to incorporate a bit more colors in the line art. Do you ever wash your kneaded eraser with soap? You're supposed to do that? I had no idea. That kneaded eraser is from Zeller's. I did not know you were supposed to wash the kneaded eraser. Color me, I learned something new today. In my defense, that kneaded eraser has always been that color. So... not exactly like I could tell when it needed to be washed. You can, but you don't have to. It does clean it up pretty good, though. Well, it's a good thing that you don't have to, because I never felt the need to wash an eraser before. It never occurred to me to do that. Did you guys know you could wash a kneaded eraser? Today is a day full of discoveries. Just gonna polish up this shoulder a little bit. There we go. And here we should be able to see the jewel she has on her chest. So I'm just going to add the line art for that real quick. There. Now we're gonna let her dry. We're gonna get Marge again. It's not Harley Quinn, Joe. It's a Harl, but it's not Harley Quinn. I need to play a couple more video games to get everything I draw. Oh, that is dark. Yeah, no, I'm going for the next color over if we want to keep the details in Marge's hair. Oops. Oh, fine. Is Joker, Clown Girl happy? Here's the thing. It's not. It's very not. That character has nothing to do with DC or even the United States. Cute, love Marge. Marge. Kind of move my light a little bit. There we go. So I probably just got really weird and dark for you guys, but this is so I can actually see where I'm coloring. Now on the plus side, I noticed that this month, Olo Markers asked an artist to pick the colors for this month, and they're showcasing the artist. I'm all for that. But yet another green gradient for March? Then again, I probably wouldn't be any more creative. First of all, there's only so much you can do with color and have it look decent. Secondly, I would probably go like cyan, magenta, yellow. The basis of comic colors. And I wouldn't be as eloquent about it as the other artist that they picked. I better not catch anybody saying, Shiro, you're jealous because they picked another artist and not you. And first of all, I don't do the same type of art as that other artist. Secondly, good on the other artist. Honestly. Good on them. Good for them. Truly, I never applied. The higher up the beehive, the less detail, because that's where the light source is. And that's how you get depth when using markers. Stay in the shot. I'm looking at Chrono Cross stuff. It looks like a great game. Ah, somebody caught it. That's why you're so very unofficial. Here's the thing, though. Personally, and that is literally a matter of taste, I hate Chrono Cross. I hate the elements. I hate how badly timed some of the bosses are. I hate the fact that they pretty much killed everybody from Chrono Trigger. I mean, the game is over 20 years old. It's not a spoiler at this point, even if they recently made a Radical Dreamers re-edition that apparently has terrible frame rate. It's a very pretty game, and yay sequel to Chrono Trigger. But it is not... It's not at the quality of Chrono Trigger, to my personal taste is what I'm saying. I'm gonna grab the dark one because there's a couple quote-unquote red detailing. Like, the pearls are gonna be extremely dark, but I am going to put a dot of white Posca on top. But I am definitely putting the lighter color in her mouth. Going to be layering it a couple times. Because let's be honest, it is not a secret that Marge is hot. That's why, yeah, chat is still at the same point. Not this end. And there we go. And of course, I said I'm gonna put Posca so you guys know what's gonna happen. Check your meters. We're gonna shaky, shaky, shaky the marker. And boop. And there we go, as requested, Dragon Ball style Marge Simpson. I appreciate that you dry so fast. Diddly 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 doo. So yeah, along with I found out this week that JetPens is finally stocking the Art Nouveau Kuretake Gansai Tambi palette, which I've been lusting over since last year. I immediately ordered it, like a day before they actually announced it on their Twitter. And along with that, I ordered a little manual, quote-unquote, machine that you're meant to roll over your eraser dust to pick it up. Because I very rarely sweep in this house, and you guys don't see my corner of my desk over here, which is loaded with eraser dust. So I'm hoping that's gonna help a bit. Don't forget circle, circle, circle to try and even out the color. Circle, 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 she says, and proceeds to use line to fill in. Do what I say, don't do what I do. If you guys like when I panic, you guys are going to like tomorrow's bootleg cookie, I tell you. You guys are gonna have a field trip. Let's darken those lines better. Okay, not gonna lie, this specific song sounds like it's from Super Paper Mario. Always gotta check, am I still in the shot? Because sometimes I will slip out and not notice. I have sound effects in the chat to help me, but sometimes the sound effects are so low, I can't exactly hear them anyway. Just gonna grab you real quick. And an arm here. And an arm there. And a bit of torso here. Let's add a bit more shading. How about that? Does that sound good? Oops, not this end. There we go. And of course, we need some accents. Should probably add a bit of shading on there. There we go. Would you stay? And here we go for card number 2. Now, for those who haven't guessed it, this is Harl from Chrono Cross. You need to get yourself a Dustbuster, friendo. The shavings. Yeah, exactly. So basically what I got along with my Koretake palette is like a little manual Dustbuster made especially for eraser shaving. It's about roughly this big, I would say. Alright, next card. We're halfway there, people. The eraser crumbs. Oh, let's see, one like this and one like this. Because the next 2 requests, I fear, are a bit too big to handle. Let's see if we can back up enough so you guys can actually see what I'm doing and not be too triggered by the camera being crooked. Probably gonna move the other one away. I can put it right here. All right. This is going to be the quote-unquote newer model of this character. We are in the modern era, so more people would be more familiar with this model, I would guess. Still gonna do, of course, the construction, even if I'm not going to be penciling that part. I still need the construction of the character to be able to put clothes on him. King size card, yeah! King size card for a king size character, honestly. Whoops. Broke my lid. I pushed too hard. See, this is why I trained myself to ink with a brush. A literal brush, not just a brush pen, an actual brush. So I would stop doing that. It doesn't just hurt my art supplies, it hurts me too. Cramps up my fingers. And we don't want that. We want to behave when it comes to pressure, so we don't ruin our hands and we get to draw longer. And yes, I'm doing my fluffiness really stiff on purpose, considering the character. I don't know if it makes you laugh, it makes me laugh. The prompt was Satan waking up with a cup of coffee, basically. And I'm usually the one that decides the style. If you don't specify a style, I will pick a style. And there are many representations of Satan throughout the years. No friggin' wonder Marker Universe doesn't ask me to be featured on their page anymore. On the one hand, I get that because they're no longer representing a large amount of brands, they want to represent their own brand, and I don't have any of their markers, the YOLO markers. Of course, they're not going to ask me to represent them anymore. That can only make sense from a corporate point of view. He looks like that after dealing with Saddam all night. Is he still with him? I haven't watched South Park in a long time. I thought he had gotten rid of him a while back. Thought Saddam went the Pip way. They broke up and he sent Saddam to heaven to live with the Mormons. Okay, so after that, there was nothing else. Because I remembered that much, but I didn't know if they brought Saddam back after the breakup. Like the real breakup. Nope. Okay. Nope. Ignore the alarm, people. It's just to tell me that my flowers are ready on Pocket Camp. I take the events on that game very seriously. Oh, I'm gonna have some Christian mutters on my ass. Gonna at least try to fill in the mustache, and I'm going to fill in the goatee with the marker. And I almost forgot to ink the lines inside the horns. Alright, gonna hang it up and then go for the last prompt, which is going to be less easy. Come on. And the reason why I decided to pull out the jumbo cards for today. Just gotta sharpen my nub real quick. It's still good, it's still good. It's okay, guys, I got a couple spare ones. So there is no stress anymore about the little blue pencils. Oh dear, I got a feeling that you misspelled something that my bots went, nope. I don't like using my hand to push away razor dust, but at least it's only on a pencil drawing, so it's less triggering in a way. Alright, already time for pencils. Whoops. A little straighter, por favor. The little X is to tell me where to put the dark. Well, the black, really. course, I'm not using actual blacks, but this is where I'll be applying the really, really dark green. Just gonna grab this and round out this eye a little bit real quick. There we go. Oh, when you're asked to draw something for the first time ever, always fun. You think I could have said that with even more sarcasm? Woof! All right. Whoops. Yeah, there's probably going to be a lot of whoopses. Alright. Battery looks like it's going to be okay, so I'm going to unplug the camera and give the juice to my tablet. Apparently the most battery consuming app on an iPad is the photo app. My phone is still in the green, so yeah, I'm using my phone to film. What about it? I literally just talked about how I got a dentist appointment next Wednesday and how I bought a paint palette. I don't have money for a good camera, okay? I use what I have. I genuinely don't remember if I've ever drawn... The fuck is that? Drawn! A One Piece character before. I think I did. I'm not sure. Did I? I don't remember shit. I draw too much stuff. I can't keep track of it all. I literally only have like one reference for this form of chopper. So I'm kind of guessing where I'm going with this facial expression. Did I ever watch One Piece? A little bit. A very little bit on Fox Kids, so it was the 4Kids dub, so yeah. But you gotta admit, the English intro was pretty good. It's kind of movement smoke. I'm a big fan of doing that. I do it a lot in the Smack Mario comics that I do, whose next episode is premiering on March 10th. So it's pretty soon. There we go. Gonna hang him up and then get Satan again, fill him in. Not too shabby with the dynamism. Tony chopper move good. Bah. Art, pretty good. English, not so much. Just gonna add a little wink. There, now it's good. Gonna darken up these areas here. As far as I know, this specific, well, my dark chameleon liners are not dry, as far as I know. They've always looked like that, so yeah. They're good for lining, they're kind of crap at filling up. And for anybody who says I'm shitting on chameleon, I am not talking about their marker. Sorry, their markers, I'm talking about their liners. So, like, there is a difference between a liner and a marker. On va s'entendre. And I have not tried the chameleon markers, so I cannot tell you how they are at filling up areas. I would guess it's good. But I would also guess that chameleon markers are expensive, so I'm not gonna get some just to try out. My throat is getting dry. I'm sorry, guys. Didn't quite have time to make myself a drink, so that's what's happening. I apologize. I will make myself a tea after the stream is done, I promise. I'm doing this section by section. I'm thinking about those pencil artists that can start at any point in the drawing and add the details right away on a section before moving on to another section, like rendering an eye and the skin around the eye completely before moving on to the other eye. Oh, I cannot. And I have to specify that it's just that I can't do what they're doing. It's not me complaining about them. That would be kind of stupid, really. South Park Satan kind of looks like Steven Seagal, which is appropriate because he's awful. No, are we going there? Because yes, he's awful. He could have been the kind of awful, like just a questionable actor that you enjoy their performance, even if they're like not the best. But it's so campy, you can't not enjoy how they are. Cough, cough, Nicolas Cage. But then there's people that are just bad. They're just bad people, and they revel in it. And it's not as fun. That's Steven Seagal. Like, you can think of yourself as being the best at something when you're not, because that's what I do. Me, personally, it motivates me to just stay the best in my head. But when you think you're the best and don't need improvement, and you're the best than everybody else, that's when it starts getting a problem. I don't see myself going on Twitter and going on random artists and telling them that they suck at this and they suck at that, because Lord knows I suck at a lot of things, but like, I'm with me 24/7. Why would I tell myself terrible things and discourage myself? Like, tons of people would make themselves a pleasure to tell me shit. So I just tell myself nice things to balance it out and to motivate me to stay at the top. But it's like my top. Nobody else has any business in my artistic growth. The only other artist that I want to be better than is me. Like, I'm not the type to go on random artist pages and go, I can draw that better than you. Because, first of all, I most likely probably can't. Secondly, why would I try and discourage other artists? It will not make my life better to discourage other artists. What I do feel makes my life better is to encourage other artists. That's how I feel. I like to see other artists have fun and being empowered and trying new things. I love that. I adore that. I encourage that. If you're drawing this thing this way or that way, you're doing it wrong. Shut up. If the person that is quote-unquote drawing something wrong asks me for help, then I will offer it. But I will not tell them that they're doing anything wrong. I will tell them to try something else. Because sometimes there's just stuff that you will see differently from other people. Simple as that. Not me constantly checking if I'm still in the frame, nah. And here we go for Satan. One more card. One more card. We can do it. Check my battery. I forgot a line. Of course I did. I'm gonna add a couple more lines here. All right. On va lui faire une belle petite manucure. On va te faire les ongles, ça va être beau, beau, beau. So much eraser dust. And adding more. Color, color, color. Coloring is nice. You can tell I'm getting tired when I get quiet like this. And I'm hungry on top of that. It's very, very hard to find something to eat when you're never really hungry for lunch. And when you're trying to look for soft food. Because you have a busted tooth. I don't know if it's busted, but something's wrong with it, that's for sure. I am not liking what's going on with it. Circle, circle, circle. Trying to blend the sections. Oh, I'm really on the tippy end of my camera there. And we're going to add a second layer here because normally this is pink. So we're trying to make it a little different from the other light blue as possible. Because we're surprisingly limited here. Because the problem when you pick a gradient over three different colors, is that one of the colors is invariably too dark for you to play with as much as the other two. At least that's what they do at Marker Universe. Hint, hint. Right, one last thing, and because I'm waiting on the darker green to dry a little bit so I can add more shading on that part. But in the meantime, I would like there. Now this should be good. for a little bit more dimension. Don't be shy to use the tip of your brush pen to add texture. There's always a way to add texture, and I always encourage it. You can do it with the blender too if you want. This is why when I teach, I kind of prefer suggesting than outright saying you have to do this, you have to do that, specifically this or that. Because people will find different ways to do the same thing, but more comfortably for them. Like we all have different ways to grip our pens. We all have different ways we prefer to color. Like I said earlier, try to color with circles to make it more even when you color with markers, but some people, like me, sometimes we're going to use lines instead. It's recommended to use circles, but if you can get the same results in a different way, all the power to you is what I say. Ooh, it rhymed! So you like doing things differently art-wise? Who's it hurting? That's my question. And with that, I believe we are done with today's almost. Now we're done. Let's see how far I can zoom out. While keeping the camera as straight as possible. Because we got some big ones today. Oh Lord, they're not all gonna fit. Alright, best I can do. But anyway, you'll be able to view them up close and personal on my social media later today. So we have Marge Simpson in the style of Akira Toriyama, Harl from Chrono Cross, Satan waking up with a coffee from South Park, and one of the many forms of Tony Chopper from One Piece. And Paul is saying, thanks for a great show, Sharon. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Paul. Because of course, there is always, oh my god, I have food crumbs, toast crumbs I think, in my house coat. I just stuck my thumb in it and it's disgusting. Me. But yeah, don't forget that I'm going to be dropping these cards later today in my coffee shop. So very unofficial. Of course, anyway, there's been links in the chat for forever. So of course, let's give extra special thanks to our supporters on Patreon: Amber B, Paul K, Miss Anavis, David F, Marianne J, and Zedna. Next live stream, of course, gonna be tomorrow, same time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Hope you guys had fun watching me draw this. I had a lot of fun drawing it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you all, and bye-bye.